Never heard a bad word about Dave Dorn. Everybody liked him. He treated everybody the same. One of the hardest working policemen I've ever seen in my life.
He loves his community. He loved serving the community, he loved being in the community, he loved protecting his community.
He was one that brought people together, no matter what color, creed, nationality you were. He was one that built bridges between people, between communities.
He was a workaholic. He was like my bloodhound. He could sniff out criminals.
Going after the drug dealers or going after the stick-up man, David would get excited. David was a good cop.
He was always giving back. His impact, he had a great impact on the community. And that was something that he instilled, like not just being there every day and answering calls and going home, but taking a vested interest in the area that we worked in.
That night was a very violent night. From the investigation, there was a lot of looting and rioting going on. They were hitting a lot of buildings. It was very organized. David had gotten a phone call from the alarm company that the alarm was going off at Lee's Pawn and Jewelry. When their alarm would go off at night, he'd answer the alarm calls. When Dave got there, he confronted some of the looters outside, and he's talking to these kids, and they're actually having a conversation while he's talking to these two young men, the man who murdered my husband and shot him point blank.
He went out to help someone, help his friend, and, unfortunately it cost him his life, but that was who he was. He would do anything he could to help anybody.
He was like a brother to me. Just like family. We took an oath to protect life and property, and which he did all the way up until the day he died.
He was able to see good in people that most people couldn't. The bottom line was that if he saw something good in you, he would fight for you.
We had special compassion for the elderly and the people who couldn't help themselves, and the idea of protecting and serving was real. And we made it happen.
I just don't really think anybody could fill his shoes. The kind of commander he was, the kind of policeman he was.
They usually recognize the chief with St. Louis City Police Department for the 38 years that he served there. But he also served for 6 more years as the chief of police with the Moline Acres Police Department. So it was just in him to just want to continue to serve his community.
I never knew all of the awesome things that he had done in the community until after his passing, and all of the stories and, everybody coming up to you like, hey, your dad did this for us. Your dad got this person a job. Your dad got that person a job. And I'm like, God. It's just like, what? Why didn't he ever talk about this type of stuff?
Dave being honored by the Congressional Medal of Honor Citizens Award, that's a phenomenal award. That kind of shows his legacy of his life. I quote John 15:13, there's no greater love that a man has than to lay his life down for a friend.
We lost this great man who kind of did everything behind the scenes. And the reality is it's a shame we couldn't have honored him during his real life because he truly was, one of the best.